today I'm going to cover the theme of soul's purpose. It is a profound exploration, I would say. I've been on this journey for a while now, and it is a very profound discovery, full of depths, if you are willing to go into the depths and finding and trying to align with your soul purpose, because there is no way of finding and aligning with your soul purpose, your soul calling, if you first don't find and align with your soul essence. Does it make sense? You have to be in the right vibration to know what are the things that really align with your soul, to know what are the things that resonate on a deep level with your soul, what really matches your needs, what really matches what lights you up. So unless you know that, unless you at least started to unveil your soul essence, it can be harder then to find your soul purpose. And maybe that's why you get into this hamster wheel of, I've been doing all the things, and it's like there is no clarity. And then you seek the opinions of others, and you seek your oracle cards and your tarot cards and all of the things. So you get an answer. So you get is this, you have to do this, right? But that doesn't come from within. And that's why I say it's really important to connect with your soul. And you know that because at some point you're going to start wondering why you are here. Why are you here in this world, in this moment in time? What is your soul purpose? What is your calling? What is your soul's mission? Have you ever asked those things to yourself? It's like you've been guided to lean into these questions. We all go through the same questioning. We all go through. When I say we all go, those of us that feel this yearning to connect more with our souls and to find who we are on a deep level, on our true essence. Yes, those of us start asking these questions, leaning into these questions, navigating this quest of discovery. That's the thing. When you start asking all these questions, and when you start awakening on a spiritual level for all of this, and that's why I say we all ask because is the process of spiritual awakening starting to unravel, starting to opening up. And when we are open to listen, when we are open to see the signs, to feel the guidance, to go with it, to trust it, then it's very organic. These things happen. It is very organic, because that's the thing. Everything that comes from the soul, being its guidance, being the opportunities that show up, the things that we manifest, it will match our vibration. And if our vibration is on that level of the soul, like a soul-led life, it will flow. It's just very organic. You don't have to push it. It doesn't feel like a struggle, right? So to begin with, let's understand what really is the essence of a soul purpose, okay? So bring into your conscious awareness who you are at a soul level. So it is subconscious. It is hidden. So you basically start to bring into your awareness, and that's why all the spiritual practices help, to create space and a safe container to connect with your soul and bring into your conscious awareness who you are at a soul level. And then aligning or allowing your divine nature, right? Who you are in your soul and source of energy to express itself through you. And that's when you start channeling. That's when you start connecting, and then just things pop into your mind. Words, signs, images. You dream about it, you see the signs, you out of nowhere hear things. That's when you start letting your divine nature, which is your soul essence, to express through you, to guide you. Think of it as expressing yourself in the simplest, most authentic way possible, okay? Your soul purpose answers some of the most profound questions about your existence. So when you start going into this process of spiritual awakening, your soul will yearn for answers. So your soul already knows the answers, but it wants you to remember those answers, right? And your soul purpose answers those profound questions about yourself. It's not really just asking, who am I? On a surface level. When you start doing this process, you really go into the depths. You really, really, with meaning, ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here? What do my soul seeks? So finding your soul purpose requires finding the answers for these fundamental inquiries, which sound very basic, and most of us already asked ourselves these things, but not on this level of depth. But discovering your soul essence it happens when you live a soul-led life of fulfillment, of happiness, of satisfaction, of what aligns with your soul needs, what feels right, what resonates within. And it just propels you to move forward on your spiritual journey of this soul awakening, embracing the unique path that has been designed for you by your soul on the day that you were born. That's been all designed there. It's just waiting for you to remember. Because your soul's call is waiting to be heard. Just that, to be remembered. And if you want to go further and get some guidance about what really you were designed to embrace, what was the path that you were designed to embrace by your soul, for your soul's evolution, don't forget that I can provide you with that. I can help you with that in my Soul Calling Blueprint service. This is a very in-depth, it's even more in-depth than it has always been. Like, I'm always constantly improving, and I'm always constantly adding new things to make this Soul Calling Blueprint the best tool and the best resource that you can have to help you having the awareness of the gifts, the strengths, the skills that you came here with to help you, and also what are the challenges that your soul decided that you needed to have in this life. What are the challenges, the obstacles, so you can clear the karmic trauma and karmic cycle that your soul has been living with. So this soul calling blueprint combines actually a natal chart, like a full natal chart, with your sun, rising, and moon signs, all the planets in the different houses, with the most relevant houses highlighted for your soul's calling, and other aspects of that are very important for your natal chart, which are like the south node, north node positions, and the sign they are in, your Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So it reveals what you are here to clear, and it might indicate some sort of past lives you had in the past, in your former lives. Your Black Lilith as well reveals a lot of characteristics that you're here to heal. Yeah, and some other aspects. So this is the natal chart. Then we have the numerology chart that goes into your birth code. So we explore your birth date and your name when you were born, the name on your birth certificate until you were 6 months old, because that holds the truth of your soul. And then, yeah, I analyze those numbers from your name, from your date of birth, and we create your birth code that reveals your soul's path, your personality number, your birth number. And I also added, for these new upgraded soul calling blueprints, I also added your personality year number. So I will include the forecast for the year ahead based on the year we are and your birth number. And then we have the human design analyzed. So I analyze your human design. Again, human design, it's a modality that it's very, very special, combines a lot of ancient cultures and astrology and science and quantum physics and all of that. So it's really, really amazing. And it shows a body graph of how you were designed to be in this life. So I reveal to you not only like the basics of, your profile and your definition, and we also go into the channels and the gates and the undefined centers and the defined centers and your lines, your incarnation cross, your environment, your colors. So I go really in depth with this. It's an amazing thing. So I combine 3 things. So you normally pay a fortune just to have your natal chart or your human design done, and it doesn't relate to anything. So what is really amazing, this soul calling blueprint, is that, and I always get gobsmacked with this. I have done so many and I still get like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Is that no matter what the modality, no matter how you look at it, from the numbers, from the planets, from the design and the centers, like it all says the same thing. The skills, the strengths, the challenges, how you want your personality, your likes and dislikes, the things you struggle the most, the things you love the most, the things you're here to do. It's just basically the same. So I go way beyond that, and what I do is, and that's why it takes me so much time, like these soul calling blueprints, I'm only able to do 2 a month, because every soul calling blueprint is so personalized. It takes me around 2 to 3 weeks to finalize one. So it's not copy paste stuff from internet, nothing like that. I channel things as well. I connect with the energy of your numbers and your name, and I channel things as well. But then what I do is I go across all those 3 charts without any app that can help me with this. I go through all of it and I make a list, like a quick list that you can just go back to. That list is everything. It lists your strengths and your gifts. It lists your challenges and the things that you're here to grow from. And then it has a list of the most aligned careers and jobs and things that you're here to do. So I do that all. Like, it's an amazing service. I will pop the link in the description. The price is 222, but I have Klarna available. You can pay in 3 without interest. And it's just like an amazing tool, an amazing resource. I had a client today email me about a soul calling blueprint I sent her a month or so ago, and she only had time now to go through all of it. And she said it resonated so much with her. It feels so aligned, and now she wants to do another. And she said it brings a lot of awareness to her regarding the challenges that she's here to overcome, which is basically what we're here to do. We want to have some sort of soul evolution, so our soul doesn't have to go through the same things over and over again, right? We have to break the cycle, we have to heal here, so our soul can break free and do something else in a when it reincarnates next, so we don't go through the same things. Jesus, it's tiring.